Welcome back. Great to have your company. He was the chef, writer and adventurer whose sudden passing in 2018 shocked fans around the world.
You know, the thing about a burger is there are many forces at play with a properly made burger.
Throughout his career, Anthony Bourdain explored the importance of food in our lives.
For me, one of life's great joys is cheese.
I'm so happy. This was a delicious meal to eat in this beautiful home with some really good home-cooked food.
Writing acclaimed books including Kitchen Confidential, hosting various food and travel series.
This is the way so many of the great meals of my life have been enjoyed. Sitting in the street, eating something out of a bowl that I'm not exactly sure what it is.
And in 2018, Bourdain died suddenly.
World-renowned chef, best-selling author, award-winning host of Parts Unknown, and our friend, Anthony Bourdain has died.
Now the new book, Bourdain in Stories, shares an intimate look into the life and work of a man they call the Hemingway of gastronomy.
And what a life it was. Author Laurie Woolever joins us now with more on the book. Laurie, thank you so much for joining us. You worked with Anthony for a number of years, becoming his assistant in 2009, then his co-author and also collaborator. But can you take us back to when you first met? What were your first impressions of Anthony?
Sure. So I met Tony in 2002. I was hired to help him write his book, Anthony Bourdain's Leal Cookbook. And so when I first met him, I was really surprised. I was expecting the same guy that I saw on the page in Kitchen Confidential, this very brash, very over-the-top guy. And in fact, he was quite shy and quite awkward. And it was a very quick interview. I'm sorry, a very quick meeting. And he was a much gentler person than he presented himself as in Kitchen Confidential.
Well, you said that Tony, if we can call him that, was very deliberate about creating this image, as you said, of himself. So over that period of time, how hard was it to get to know the real him?
I think that I was able to know some parts of him. I think that there was a privacy to him. There was a kind of a struggle that he kept very close to the vest. And I don't know that he shared that with anyone or with very few people. That being said, if you read his writing, if you listen to the things he says on television, he did share quite a bit of himself. He was very open about his struggles with drugs in his early years. He was open about his own self-doubts at times. He could be very self-deprecating. But I think that that part of him that led him, down the ultimate path, I think he really kept that very much to himself.
I know you've spoken to a number of people for the book about Anthony, including his mother, his brother, and not much prior to this has been known about his early life and his childhood. What did you learn through this process?
Well, I learned that his mother also was someone who kept secrets, and his brother Christopher was hugely helpful and influential in this process. And their mother Gladys, who died in 2020, she actually hid the fact that she came from a Jewish family. She hid it from her children until they were into their late teens. Wow. And she was she sort of set the stage for curating the life that she wanted to project out into the world, and in some ways set an example for Tony for putting forward the qualities that you want out in the world and really holding back on those that you'd rather not share. The family often struggled financially, but they lived in an upscale neighborhood. The boys went to private school. They spent money on the opera and travel and restaurants, but they privately really had money troubles. So it was an interesting pattern that you see in the family history. You also spoke to his daughter Ariane, and I mean, I can only imagine that was a truly emotional experience. Absolutely. She's a wonderfully smart and capable kid, really got a great head on her shoulders. Now, Tony and his wife there, Ottavia, were very invested in keeping her as private as possible, letting her make the decision when she's an adult to be public or not. But she was very willing to speak with me, and her mother allowed it. And she had some really beautiful memories of her father that she shares in the book. I look forward to reading some of them. Anthony's cultural image is this cool restaurant rebel, globe-trotter,
you know, who was known as the culinary Hemingway. What do you hope people can take away from this book about Anthony, the real Anthony?
I think that I would like for people to remember him that way, as charismatic and funny and you know, brash and exciting, but also to remember that he was a very sensitive, very shy person in some ways, and could be awkward. And he was, you know, he was very, very human. I think when somebody has the kind of success that he had and you know, presents such a beautiful, exotic, fantasy version of life, it's very easy to forget that they have real human struggles, just like all of us. So, you know, with everything being so public facing, with all of us putting our lives on social media, we can forget that, you know, there's always a human struggle and something going on under the surface that we don't know about.
Laurie, we cannot wait to read this book in detail, and thank you so much for your time this morning. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Bourdain in Stories is out now, just in time for Christmas. It's going to be a perfect gift for a lot of fans out there.
Great.